I am Sean, aka Saxon. I am 35 years old and I was originally born in Houston, Texas.
Marine Sean is frying meat in the small kitchen of the Rehabilitation Center. Cooking is one of the exercises he does every day to recover from his injury as quickly as possible. This is his third and, as he says, his major injury which he sustained in the Kherson region in October last year.
It's raining metal and stuff, and so when artillery shrapnel pretty much hit where I was sleeping at, I moved a little bit and it took my arm almost completely off and stuff, and a tree fell on top of my head, and I had to wait 10 hours over there because you can't move during the day because the drone and artillery is just bad.
Occupational therapy is one of the free services offered to patients at this recovery rehabilitation center. But it's not the only way to recover.
I do a lot of leg exercises and balancing exercises. My balance is not exactly good anymore because I'm missing a couple of pounds on one side. So do arm to make my arm stronger and stuff so it can eventually get into a prosthetic very well.
During the exercises, Sean is accompanied by Maria. She is an occupational therapist.
The main part of my work, it's like be sure that our patient, when they come home and they can get up at home, like they can use the stair, they can walk alone without somebody helps, go to the kitchen and they can open their refrigerator, make some lunch for themselves.
Down the hall, in a different room, another man is doing his exercises with a physiotherapist. Serhiy was injured in September 2022 in the Kharkiv region.
I am a soldier of the 30th Brigade, and during the battles, anti-personnel mines. These are the consequences. I had a difficult situation. In addition to a double amputation, I had a torn side, shrapnel all over my lower body. I went to a lot of hospitals.
Serhiy had a break in rehabilitation due to surgery on his left leg. Now he has returned to training.
My task is to prepare for prosthetics as best as I can, while this leg couldn't do any physical activity for a very, very long time because of my crushed hip. Somehow, I will need to be able to stand on the prosthesis, so I will do it.
For now, there are 12 recovery rehabilitation centers in Ukraine. They operate in 9 Ukrainian regions.
We have physical therapy rooms which are for physical rehabilitation, restoring walking skills, mobility, increasing the range of motion of joints, and increasing muscle strength. There are also occupational therapy rooms which are for adapting to everyday life. And of course, we have psychologists working with military personnel. This tandem of physical and psychological rehabilitation has been shown to be quite effective and efficient in the recovery of military personnel.
We work with the prosthesis, work with our body, procedures, magnetic therapy, laser therapy. We use almost everything we can.
Dennis is a soldier of the 25th Separate Airborne Brigade. He has already undergone prosthetics. It was done in Washington, D.C. Now at the Rehabilitation Center, he is working on getting used to living with it.
It takes time to get used to the prosthesis because it is constantly pressing, and this is only the second month. The period of adaptation and rehabilitation with the prosthesis usually takes from 3 to 4 months, but everything is down to the individual.
More than 13,000 patients have already received rehabilitation care in recovery centers.
These are military personnel and their injuries were sustained while performing combat missions. These are often mine blast wounds, traumatic brain injuries, spinal injuries, and amputations.
My cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine were damaged. Currently, my rehabilitation here is going well. We are building up my pelvis and leg muscles.
Artem is now doing everything he can to start walking again. He says that there are few centers that rehabilitate patients with spinal injuries. This is one of them.
At first, the doctors told me that I would be completely bedridden. Then, when I sat up, they said I would be in a wheelchair. When I showed that I had already gotten back on my feet, the same doctors told me that I had every chance of walking. We cannot assume that people with spinal cord injuries should only be in a wheelchair.
Despite their severe injuries and long rehabilitation, the soldiers assure us that they plan to return to service eventually.
Winning, that will be the main motivation.